All right, everyone. I'm going to be opening the space now with a prayer. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين قل هو الله أحد الله صمد لم يولد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Thank you. I'm taking a deep breath in and out. And one more. Aligning now with the higher self, the space above our crown, and spirit mind. Jannah, paradise above us. And also above us the stars, small suns through the veil of separateness, symbols of hope, good fortune, worlds beyond our eyes. And above us the moon, now slowly waning, slowly closing, going back to sleep. Marking our path and watching over us with the gentlest of light, the guidance of our inner mind, the guidance of our intuitive heart. And welcoming in these lights, these solar and astral bodies into our space and into our field, into our room. And as we connect to our breath, really inviting that otherworldly in. connecting to the life that flows through our animal bodies, the life that animates us. Into our place both among the stars and the springtime, the green around us, the earth becoming new, as the stars shine and smile at us. And dreaming with the universe, dreaming ourselves into being as a part of the universe, living this dreamy life alive and enlightened self, exists from the tips of our fingers to our shoulders and relaxing our shoulders, relaxing tension in the neck and the face, and forehead, and the legs and the joints, relaxing the stomach, and just allowing yourself to be. Coming into communion with the unity of being, and giving yourself permission to connect, to be at peace, to address any concerns coming up with compassion. Salam ala salam, peace upon peace. And as you're in your body, allowing it to hold you, allowing the floor or the chair to hold you, to be grounded. You have a foundation underneath you. Knowing it is not just the chair, not just the earth, but the universe, creator holding you too. as you're being held, kind of letting in a love, feeling of divine love, this sort of springtime, astral, many face, many faceted love. And as you're surrounded at once in all these great powers, connecting to your inner senses, well, whatever that may mean for you. Connecting to your heart, checking in, and kind of sending some of that love to blanket it. Especially paying attention to the back of your heart, places that might hold trauma, kind of just letting it exist and be held. Breathing in and breathing out, releasing other people, so it's only you and your heart space. And really allowing yourself to become your essence expressed outwards. You may feel your energy moving out, shining out, perhaps radiating out. And as your essence expressed outwards, becoming aware at the very center of you of the secret of your existence, your mystery, your divinity. Just understanding that it's there, witnessing it, seeing it. Allowing yourself to be a little curious, like, what is this? Who am I? Who am I really? And what does it mean to be me? Now, an allowing in of the awareness again of something greater, of Jannah, of paradise, as part of this whittling of yourself, of your essence, seeing how you connect to the idea of paradise, the home of our Creator, or perhaps just to the primordial, the earth before humanity, the garden, the untouched garden. This is a place beyond that which fails us, that which burdens us, that which keeps us downtrodden. It's the spider web that's woven between all of these stars and all of these suns, and between all of us and all of the creatures that exist on this planet, one copy of many. In this time, when the gates to our shadows are locked during this holy month, only Jannah exists, only paradise, only our best selves. So, what does this mean? How can we be our best selves? In such a place of plenty, we are free now to profoundly let go and to release, breathing and removing with no effort, just letting what needs to fall away now. Alhamdulillah, MashaAllah, we are free. Feeling. And allowing in with this vision of Jannah to understand how it might be defined for us, what our land of milk and honey might be, a garden of plenty, with fruits and rivers and forests and mountains and birds and flowers. Where is the home for our best self? And how can we, when we persevere, channel that and invite that? And we remember the Sufi doctrine, as above, so below. Earth is heaven, heaven is earth. And we test La ilaha illallah. We are the Lord's. We are the keepers. There's no one greater than another. We are in paradise, green with springtime. Even if our flowers have thorns, we are in the decorated land of peace, on peace. Salam ala salam. And I pray again for us. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم آمين. الله أكبر. قل هو الله أحد الله صمد لم يولد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. We remember, as the Quran says, we have never been abandoned. We have never been lost. Even from afar, we are always watched over. We are always invited. We are always welcomed back. We are always beloved with forgiveness, just as we are. As we finish this first meditation and prepare to break our fast and prepare to further connect, I pray one more time with the power of the sunrise and the sunset, the moonrise and the moonset, the many cycles, the infinitudes, the earth beneath our feet and the sky above our heads. I call in your guides, my allies, your allies, the animals, the plants, the ancestors, the otherworldly beings, the protectors. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. And may we be guided always to be our best self, to be our kindest. And taking a minute now and opening the space again with another prayer. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Allahu Akbar. Taking a moment now and realigning with the self, connecting to the highest power, the unknowable, the compassionate, the merciful, the forgiving, the creator of all things. Aligning with infinite forgiveness to our existence, to our blessings, and asking with humbleness to undergo now a journey of knowledge to the gardens of paradise, to Jannah. Opening up our dreamy self, the back of the mind, the dream weaver, settling into a kind of trance space. Allowing us now to leave the room and climb the mountains that reach Jannah, ascending to the place beyond all clouds and skies. And making our way until we find a doorway, the first of the four gateways. Feeling this as the opening of a liminal space before you. You may see the walls of this place as stone covered in vines. Smell the water on the other side. And entering that doorway now, smelling orange citrus and amber and tree sap, flowers. You notice the light changing in your room, or feel a coolness or a warmth, connecting to a kind of playful, eternal springtime. We have begun here at the Garden of the Soul, joining the realms of paradise, entering this first garden so that we may heal, we may come to know the psychic self, the processing of information and knowing. Taking in grass underneath your feet, maybe trees, flowering from all angles, water rushing amongst joyful, unfettered growth, hearing and seeing birds, seeing any of your guides and ancestors. You're in the place of healing, the garden of healing. And there's a sweet tranquility to this garden, offered to help you relax. So allowing ourselves to be receptive, opening the self and the body, maybe laying down or taking a rest for a moment, looking into a body of water, whether it's a babbling brook or a pond or a fountain, and seeing the place around us reflected, kind of like an infinite springtime and garden. And when we look, it's like the green envelops ourself and kind of weaves into the self, inviting in that deep healing, that deep heart healing, green of the heart chakra, connecting to the green of paradise in springtime. And continuing to release any burdens that come up, pulling away from physical frustration, pulling away from disturbance, releasing the busy mind, noticing what we hold, what we have had to hold, and how it affects us. Where are you squeezing and contorting yourself? Release it now. Where are you holding up yourself with the last of your strength? Where are you holding up the memory of times past? Where is the vulnerable one who was not supported? As we're resting, allowing for another profound release and removal. Taking a moment to remember that we too are part of this garden. We are the animal, we are the green. Noticing perhaps where our own spirit self may have thorns or twisted branches or sick leaves. Diagnosing and checking and witnessing these places in our body. Cutting away these pieces. And as you cut, giving them as an offering to this earth, to this garden of healing. This is where your wounds can rest. This is where your wounds can heal. So that you can find your contentment. Just letting them rest. You don't have to make peace with it yet, just putting it down even for a moment. And now leaving, getting up, making your way to the second gateway, becoming aware of its walls, of its doorway, moving, regarding it, seeing if it's in any way different from the last one, and moving through, passing into the next stage, sealing the door behind us, and entering into the garden of the heart. Seeing an even brighter, more complex garden, feeling the soft breeze, and in the center, an impressive, very ancient, and wise tree that has lasted many years, many lifetimes, and holds great knowledge. This tree is dark green and light green and yellow green and flowering, bursting with many flowers of many kinds and fruits of all varieties. Regarding this tree and its lush branches that reach for us like arms, its strong trunk, and as we come closer, being so shaded that we can no longer see the sun, as we have left our burdens behind, so too do we leave our reason, allowing the healing and the release to become part of our knowledge, an illumination of that which was veiled, coming closer to the imprint of the soul, and seeing among these branches, almost like jewels glittering and shining. This is the tree of knowledge, of all life, of all immortality, all forms and images of the inner sameness reflected in this ancient being. Gathering now the universal meanings, the secrets, the wisdom. You're here to learn and be one with resilience, to be like this tree, a survivor, strong and fortified. Remembering as we walk this trance with this tree, we connect that this tree has felt fear, has felt sacrifice, has felt wounding, but it is blessed, it is sacred, and so are we, and so do we aim to be. We grow new buds in our spirit, planting seeds, becoming one, blending our identity with this ancient identity of being. And as you are planting these seeds, remembering that you are meant for this world, you are meant for something really great. You are here to recognize what defines your greatness, what parts of the universe that you hold with your mind. And just like this tree, the divine is reflected in you. So eating from this tree with the knowledge that you are safe, consuming a date or an ally plant, nourishing yourself, nourishing those seeds that you've planted by communion, communion with majesty. Receiving messages, receiving, speaking in the language of the leaves whispering in the wind. The fruit is the station of the spirit. You are reduced only to a kernel of yourself, all gone but your secret, woven in, woven in with the green of this tree, woven in with your heart. Take a big breath in and out, receiving any final wisdom messages, making any final connections in this garden. Wrapping yourself up and wrapping this up as we move now into the third gateway, saying goodbye to the beautiful tree. Having moved from the garden of the soul to the garden of the heart and now to the true garden of the spirit, a place of fire, manifestation, a fire of the self, and also a calm, a cooling place. As we move through this gateway, we can see that this garden is more ancient than the last, closer than ever to the beginning of time. The plants are older with large fern fronds, low-hanging trees. Creatures are bigger. The water is all water. Water flowing freely beneath our feet and in long rivulets. Bodies of water making up large pools. And in the center is the great fountain. This fountain is stories high, larger than a building, multi-layered and gushing. This is the fountain of life, the fountain of knowledge. This is the truth of certainty. This is the true knowing and true understanding in the ancient waters. This is the place where earth and water mix into the clay of creation, and from it vernal presence, ancient nature. And as you look at these waters this time, you see yourself reflected back. Only yourself. Waters mystify you and clarify you, and they're clear as a diamond. They are the lens of perfection. And as we behold it, we understand ourselves. We understand our repetitive thoughts, our cycles that block us, that which does not serve us, that which is still our divine project to undertake, our seeds to sow, our lessons to learn, so that we may be closer to ourselves. We see all things, the wronged, the wrongdoer, the love, the compassion, the do-gooder, the good Samaritan, the patient, the loving. We see the full picture, and we know that we are forgiven, and we are invited now to purify, to be washed as we make sacred ablution, reaching into the fountain, allowing this water to caress us and move through our layers, and just let it all be free, without judgment, pure existence, pure form. Watering our roots and tending to ourselves. Being rained on. Taking us closer to the essence of self. And if you haven't already, allowing yourself to drink from this sacred fountain, this fountain of youth, of preservation, of all things, of all life. Nourish and be. Becoming creation, becoming the self, water and clay and being and person. Letting it all rain down. Alhamdulillah for our lives, for the gifts, for the time. And taking the time to say goodbye, to splash around a little more if we feel called. And entering the final gateway, final garden of Jannah, of paradise, a true meeting of the Creator. And perhaps the Creator is waiting for you. Perhaps it is just the self. With a deep breath, entering the garden of essence, the true unity of being, paradise of spirit and all things. And as we enter, we become totally annihilated of self, simply one part of the many in this garden of all things that is unending, blooming and budding, all flowing freely, trees and fruits and flowers and joy and all of our allies. And the greatest creator is there too. Allah al-Karim, the generous. We are part of the togetherness. As mystics, we see through the polished mirror. We are the one and we are the all. We can see ourselves through the polished project now. For we are the divine project. Our work is the divine work. Like the seeds of the pomegranate, we are all and we are one. I share with you this Sufi poem. Know that the world is a mirror from head to foot, in every atom, and 100 blazing suns. If you cleave the heart of one drop of water, 100 pure oceans emerge from it. If you examine closely each grain of sand, 1,000 atoms, and by that I mean the first atom, may be seen in it. In its members, a gnat is like an elephant. In its qualities, a drop of rain is like the Nile. The heart of a kernel of grain equals 100 harvests. A world dwells in the heart of the millet seed. In the wing of a gnat is the ocean of life. In the pupil of the eye is heaven. What through the millet seed of the heart may be small, it is a station of the Lord of all worlds to dwell within. And I pray now. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. آمين. In this essence, we praise the throne beyond all dimensions, beyond the land and skies. Everything is between the hands of the Creator and therefore between our hands. That which happens is the will of the universe. Perhaps to reconnect to our will and our essence. For we too are El Aliyu Ladin, the greatest, the highest. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawm Al-Din, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, Uhdina as-sirata al-mustaqim, صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. صدق الله العظيم. May we be responsible with the power we hold. May we share that power with others with kindness. We say final Alhamdulillah, final thanks. We descend to earth from these gardens, back to this room, back to this space. back into communion with each other. Great love.